Hey everyone, and a very good afternoon. My name is Cara from FirstMetroSec, and I'd like to welcome you guys to the 31st episode of your BeSTies Webinar Series. That's Beltran, Sai, and Tarog Investment Education Series. Like I said, today is now our 31st installment, and just that fast, konti na lang, we will be entering the last month of the year. Seems only yesterday we started this series, actually last January lang, and in the hopes of being able to virtually help and assist fellow Filipinos in their investing journeys. Now that we are basically less than half a month away until December, we can now consider that we are approaching the holiday season as well. And what does that mean? Now, aside from the holidays, the vacation, the food, embedded in what we call the holiday mindset are, of course, the gifts that we receive and the gifts that we give. The holidays are a season of gift giving, and because of that, we would like to introduce you to another gift giving concept that we have up on our sleeves here. Thus, today's topic, buying the gift that keeps on giving. But more of all of that later with Marco, our speaker for today. He is our business development officer, and you may have seen him before that because he conducts our basic education and stock trading seminar, and also you can see him in various speaking engagements around the country and abroad. For those of you who are new and not yet that familiar with First MetroSec, we're inviting you to open an account for free today. Metrobank or PS Bank account holders, OFWs, and our students, you can open an account for free. And for all others, there's an initial deposit of 2,500 pesos, an amount which you can invest once your account is activated. We are also encouraging everyone tuned in right now to join the growing First MetroSec family on Facebook. To get first dibs on the latest market news and updates, First MetroSec exclusive announcements and recommendations, daily contests, and also gain the opportunity to connect with your fellow traders or investors. Just proceed to www.facebook.com/groups/FirstMetroSec to join. And now, without further ado, moving on to why we're all tuned in today, please welcome our speaker for buying the gift that keeps on giving, Marco Tarog.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Marco Tarog, Business Development Officer for First MetroSec. I'm the guy on the left, imitating my idol, the thinking man. Welcome once again to First MetroSec Besties. That's Beltran, Sai, Tarog, Investment Education Series, Episode 31, Buy the Gifts That Keep on Giving. We hope you took the time over the last few weeks to open an account. Free if you are a Metro Bank or PS Bank account holder. Free if you're a student, and free if you are an OFW. For those that haven't yet, you can start saving and investing with First MetroSec by opening an account in just 3 easy steps. Step 1, visit www.firstmetrosec.com.ph and click Open an Account. Step 2, complete the online registration form, and when asked, how did you learn about us? Please do type BeSTies. And last step, step 3, upload your 3 documents online, namely sheet of bond paper with valid ID signed thrice, proof of your bank account, and any proof of address. After uploading, in 2 to 3 days, your account will be activated, and congratulations, you will have your very own online trading account. Today, our topic is buy the gifts that keep on giving, and we will be talking about dividend-paying stocks. We will be talking about money market mutual funds and the value of accumulation. It's already November 18, 2019. How fast time flies. We started this BeSTies Webinar Series in January, and we have now 31 episodes. Thank you, dear viewers and listeners, for staying tuned. Now, Christmas is fast approaching. We are receiving our last few salaries for the year. Some of us may have a year-end bonus, holiday pay, and I'm sure many of us are rushing to buy gifts for the holidays. We hope that you are still able to follow the single most important financial literacy equation that will keep us financially fit, and that is income minus savings plus investments equals your gifts for the holidays, and of course, your monthly expenses. Now, speaking of gifts, what gift or gifts will you be getting yourself this Christmas? Will you be getting yourself the usual stuff like clothes, sneakers, gadgets, etc.? How about getting yourself gifts that keep on giving? What are such gifts? How about dividend paying stocks and money market mutual funds? Dividend paying stocks keep giving because they have a track record of rewarding its shareholders. Some of the stocks that have had a history and track record of paying dividends are SEMIRARA Mining and Power Corporation, DMCI Holdings, PLDT, Globe Telecom, and Meralco. You may be wondering how much dividends these companies have paid. In 2019, the dividend yields of each of the companies were the following. For SEMIRARA, 6.6%, for DMC, 6.4%, PLDT, 6.2%, Globe Telecom, 4.9%, and Meralco, 4.5%. These are the dividend yields of these 5 blue chip companies we are showing. What does this mean? This means that for every 100 pesos that you use to buy shares of these companies, you would have received in return dividends amounting to 6.6 pesos, 6.4 pesos, so on and so forth. So we are now talking about dividend yields. These are the dividend yields for 2019. How about for the past 5 years? What has been the average dividend yield of these companies? Here they are. For SEMIRARA or SCC, the dividend yield for the past 5 years on average was 13.5%. For DMC, it's a little bit lower at 4.868. For PLDT, just about the same at 6.4. For Globe Telecom, 4.9, just about the same. And for Meralco, it's about 5.56, a little bit higher. So if you had bought shares of Meralco, let's say, okay, and in 2019, the company declared cash dividends in total of 16.06 pesos per share. That's about 4.5% dividend yield. And if you had bought 1,000 shares of Meralco, you would be receiving a gross amount of 16,060 pesos. But of course, dividend payments, cash dividends are subject to 10% withholding tax. So you'd receive a net amount of 14,454. That's if you used your money to buy 1,000 shares of Meralco. What if you had bought not 1,000 shares? What if you bought 2,000 shares? Then you'd receive a gross amount of 32,120. And you'll receive a net amount after withholding tax of 28,908 pesos in cash dividends. What if you bought 10,000 shares or you were holding 10,000 shares? How much would you receive? You'd receive about 160,600 in gross amount net. You'd receive is 144,540. All right. So Meralco are one of such companies or is a stock that likes to regularly reward its shareholders. And if you accumulate, you use your money to buy and buy shares, right? You will receive more cash dividends. So in short, the value of accumulation is simple. It's like this. The more you have, the more shares you have, the more dividends you will receive. All right? That's the value of accumulation. The best part about it is if you just hold the stock, you'll be receiving dividends every year as long as you don't sell. And that is what we call passive income. You can see if a stock like Meralco pays dividends, and you can see its dividend paying history if you go to the research tab on your FirstMetroSec account. You input the stock code, okay, for Meralco, it's MER, and you click dividend payment history. And here you will see the breakdown of the regular and special dividends that the company has paid out through the years. So how does it work? With step one, you of course have to buy shares of the company. You can do this by entering your trade to buy and put the stock code, put the quantity you want to buy, and buy it at either market price or the price that you'd like to purchase the shares at. All right, that's step one. Step two, simply hold the shares and wait for the company to declare dividends. Once the company declares dividends, it will also say the next important date, which is what we call the X date. On X date, you as a shareholder on record will be included in the list of those who will be receiving dividends. It's important to note that you should buy one day before X date so that when trading opens at 9:30 a.m., you will be a stockholder, a shareholder on record. After X date, the next important date is the date payable. So on date payable, you will receive the dividends, less of course the 10% withholding tax, and it will either be credited to your buying power on your FirstMetroSec online trading account or credited to your settlement account with your preferred bank, whichever option you have chosen. And the last step, very passively, receive the dividends and use it to either buy more shares or to buy a different asset or to spend for your daily and monthly expenses. And when you are a shareholder of a dividend-paying stock like Meralco, not only could you earn via cash dividends, you could also earn via price appreciation. In 2017, Meralco had a share price of 270 pesos per share, and in 2019, Meralco share price reached a high of 390 pesos per share. That is a gain of about 44.4% in just 3 years. Dividend-paying stocks certainly can be a gift that keeps on giving, but sometimes dividend-paying stocks themselves, despite being so good to hold because of its income-paying track record, can have volatile share prices. Take, for example, the MCI Holdings, which in 2019 had a dividend yield of 6.4%, and over the past 5 years had a average dividend yield of 4.868%. But the share price of the MCI sadly dropped from the latter part of 2017 all the way till present. So from a high of about 16 pesos per share, we're now seeing that DMC is being traded at 7.5%. That is a drop of about 50%. All right, so if dividend-paying stocks are too volatile for you, all right, investors who may be more conservative may prefer another type of gift that keeps on giving, a gift that is of lower risk but still has a good track record of providing returns. What I am referring to are money market mutual funds. On the FirstMetroSec platform, specifically the FundSmart page, there are 4 money market mutual funds which you can get yourself as gifts this year. There is the ALFM Money Market Fund, there's the Phila Managed Income Fund, there's the First Metro Save and Learn Money Market Fund, and the Sun Life Prosperity Money Market Fund. Unlike stocks, these money market mutual funds do not pay dividends. Rather, you earn via price, or in this case, net asset value per share appreciation. The mutual fund itself, money market mutual fund, may not itself be paying out dividends to you as an investor. However, its underlying investments within the mutual fund are usually low risk, low reward, income paying assets like time deposit. And there may also be once in a while interest paying bonds that will mature in 1 year or less. Here we see the year-to-date change, the 1 year change, the 3 and 5 year changes of each of the aforementioned money market funds. You see here that all 4 money market funds have had a good track record of providing investors with small but decent returns. And now let me show you, all right, the price chart or the net asset value per share chart of one such money market mutual fund, the Sun Life Asset Management Money Market Fund. You can see here that it is a steady but slow climb up. It's not volatile. And if you'd like to learn more, simply click on the fund to know its underlying assets and the details of the fund. Again, on your FirstMetroSec online trading account and on the FundSmart page. So to know more about money market funds and other Sun Life asset management mutual funds, I would also like to invite you all to join us this Sunday, okay, at 3 p.m. at the Mega Trade Meeting Room A at SM Mega Mall, Mandaluyong. We will be having our Invest Now Blank Later event with our mutual fund partner, Sun Life Asset Management. To register, please visit our Facebook page, First Metro Securities, okay, under events. You can sign up for tickets and let the marketing team know that you would like to attend the event once again this Sunday at the Mega Trade Meeting Room A, SM Mega Mall, Mandaluyong. I'll be one of 3 presenters and I will be introducing you or in the audience to stocks and mutual funds. All right, that's it for today's webisode. Remember, consider this Christmas buying the gifts that keep on giving. What are they? Dividend paying stocks. What are they? Money market mutual funds. And again, the more you have, the more you will receive. And that is the value of accumulation. We are the best. Thank you for spending a portion of your afternoon with the best stockbroker in the Philippines, First Metro Securities. If you'd like to learn more about saving and investing, please feel free to attend our in-house seminars and or visit our website and check our calendar of events. You can never go wrong learning from the best, whether you are from Luzon, Visayas, or Mindanao. You may invite us over to your next company or school event because it's much more fun learning about saving and investing with friends, classmates, and office mates. The good thing about our off-site market education program is we conduct them free of charge. This has been your bestie, Marco. Thank you for tuning in. If you'd like to get to know more about us, please visit once again our website, www.firstmetrosec.com.ph, like us on Facebook, and join our official Facebook group. And that's a wrap for this latest episode 31 of First MetroSec Besties. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much for that very insightful discussion, Marco. I'm sure our viewers here today definitely has gained a different perspective on gift giving. Again, to our audience this afternoon, gifts need not be expensive. And what's more is that gifts can give you more fruit than gifts, and that is through investments. Now, as we head on to today's Q&A, I would just like to remind you that you can send in your questions for Marco to answer. Send them in through the chat box, and I will be asking them on your behalf to Marco. All right, are you game for the questions, Marco?
Sure.
Okay, so ready or not, let me start with the first question that was sent in through email from Mr. Fajardo. How much are the costs involved in dollar funds? Magkano ang commission? Service fees? Ano pa ang mga costs?
Okay, sir. I'm on the First MetroSec online trading account on the FundSmart page, and I have with me in front here on my screen the dollar mutual funds available. So if we click any one, let's say we want to click the, let's start with the Sun Life Prosperity Dollar Starter Fund. So this is a money market mutual fund that invests in dollar denominated assets. All right, so let us draw that in. Okay. So here I have the details of the mutual fund in front of me. There are two levels here now, sir. On the level of the investor, when you invest in a mutual fund, you of course want to look at the price of the asset. In this case, we are looking at the net asset value per share. And as of today, the net asset value per share is 1.0352. This is the price of the dollar mutual fund. All right, first question. Is there a commission when I invest in this mutual fund or any dollar mutual fund on the First MetroSec platform? The answer there is no commission, sir. We will not be charging you front end or back end fees to invest or to redeem your investment in any of the mutual funds. So that's on the investor level. Um, so what you do is you take the amount you want to invest, you divide it by the net asset value per share, all right, and that is the number of shares that you will be receiving uh, in exchange for your investment. Now that's the level. That's the first level on the level of the investor. However, as it is a mutual fund and there is a fund manager who takes the money of different investors and uses it to buy assets like um, like dollar denominated bonds that mature in 1 year or less and so on and so forth, right? The fund manager, of course, will charge the fund, okay, management fees. So in this case, the management fee is 0.25% per annum. This 0.25% per annum is not deducted anymore from your net asset value per share. Rather, it is deducted from the fund itself, embedded within the fund. The mutual fund and the other mutual funds also have different fees. Okay, if you take a look at the name Sun Life Prosperity Dollar Fund, below it there is a link to the fact sheet. All right, the fact sheet may state what the different funds are, the different fees are rather. So what else can be charged? There is a custodian fee. Of course, these are assets, and these assets need to be held by another bank. Custodian fee is one. Of course, transfer agent fee is another. There's also an early redemption fee if you have not met the minimum holding period. In this case, it's just 7 days, right? So there are fees that the fund will charge its underlying investments. But on the investor level, the top level, the only thing that you need be concerned with is the net asset value per share and its appreciation or depreciation in some cases. Um, there. So for commission, we on the platform we will not charge. The First MetroSec will not charge front end or back end fees. The fees are all embedded within the fund. So on the investor level, you only need to concern yourself with the net asset value per share. So here we
Right.
have the fact sheet of this particular mutual fund we're looking at, which is the Sun Life Prosperity Dollar Starter Fund. It has disclosed on the fact sheet that it charges a transfer agency fee of 0.15%. It will charge an early redemption fee of 0.25% if you don't meet the minimum holding period of 7 days. Okay, and I'm sure there are other fees here that are part of the um, disclosure book, the other disclosures. So there.
All right. Another question that we have here, Marco, are there any fees involved in redeeming mutual funds?
Oh, are there any fees involved in redeeming mutual funds? For dollar denominated mutual funds, um, they may be subject to a $2 transfer fee by First MetroSec. For peso denominated mutual funds, there are no fees in redeeming mutual funds other than the early redemption fee, which the mutual fund manager, in this case, it can be BPI's ALFM, it can be the First Metro Asset Management Save and Learn team, it can be the Film Asset Management team or the Sun Life team. They may charge an early redemption fee if you do not meet the minimum holding period um, for investing in the mutual fund.
All right. Thank you for that, Marco. Another question that we have here sent through the chat box. I am a newbie investor. Which is better avenue for me, money market mutual funds or balanced mutual funds?
Okay, so you're a newbie investor. Before you can actually invest in any of the mutual funds available on the platform, you will be required to take risk suitability test or a client suitability assessment form. This is to determine what mutual funds are most suitable based on your risk profile. And by risk profile, I'm asking whether you are a low risk, low reward investor, you are a high risk, high reward investor, or you're somewhere in between. What is your goal? Is it simply to protect your capital? Are you going for safety, in which case a money market mutual fund is better for you? Or are you going for a combination of steady returns and returns, income, and capital appreciation? If that's the case, then a balanced fund may be more appropriate for you. So, Mr. Newbie Investor, Mr. or Miss Newbie Investor, it will depend really on a number of factors, including your experience, your risk profile, your risk tolerance, and your goals. So, you are always in the best position to answer this question. And one last thing before you invest in either a money market or a balanced fund is your investment horizon. Money market funds are meant for investors that have a short-term investment horizon, 1 year or less. Balanced funds are meant for investors that have a little bit of a longer term horizon, maybe 3 to 5 years. So if you're willing to leave your money there invested, um, likely the balanced fund will suit you better than a money market mutual fund.
Okay, thank you for that, Marco. Another question that we have here is, can my portfolio be entirely mutual funds? I'm not very confident with stocks.
Yes, of course, your portfolio can be entirely mutual funds. Um, if you are not very confident with stocks, that is completely fine. You don't actually need to invest in a mutual fund that invests in stocks. You can choose to invest in mutual funds that invest in bonds or mutual funds that invest in money market securities. So the good thing about mutual funds is that by buying just one mutual fund, you are actually buying a basket of assets or a basket of securities. So you are already diversified. If you buy several mutual funds, if you invest in several mutual funds, the more you will be diversified and the more you'll be able to manage your risk. Um, what I did earlier in the year was I scanned the bond funds available on the FirstMetroSec platform, the FundSmart page, and I filtered out the bond funds that I liked. I chose four. Okay, one from um, one of each of the mutual fund partners that we have, and I decided to invest in several bond funds. I did this because I wanted to diversify further. I also did this because I wanted to compare the performance of each of these bond funds with each other. So last time I checked, the Philam Bond Fund was the best performing bond fund year to date. They executed and they had the most winning strategy this year. But who knows? Maybe next year, maybe it might be Sun Life, it may be the Save and Learn Bond Fund, or it could be ALFM. Um, so yeah, to answer your question, your portfolio, investment portfolio can be made entirely of mutual funds, and it need not be equity mutual funds.
All right, thank you for that, Marco. Last question that we can accommodate right now, unfortunately, is what do you mean by no sales load on FundSmart?
Usually, when you approach a fund manager, you will be asked to speak with an agent. This agent will charge you front end fees or a sales load. All right, which means that on top of the net asset value per share, this agent will be charging you an additional percentage for your investment. And if you want to redeem, if you say it's time to exit the investment and you want to get your money back, the same agent may charge you back end fees to exit the investment. And that is on top of an early redemption fee in case you don't meet the minimum holding period. So that's if you approach a mutual fund manager directly. However, on the FirstMetroSec platform, it being an online platform, um, we want to, of course, give you the best value and the best service. So we will not charge you front end or back end fees, or in other words, sales loads to invest in any of the mutual funds. So there.
Okay, so I think we have time for another last question. Marco, is that
Sure,
okay with
sure.
you? Okay, so we have another question sent in. Can we use peso cost averaging in mutual funds?
Actually, peso cost averaging is best used for mutual funds. I mentioned in the presentation earlier the value of accumulation, and That's actually just a fancy word of doing peso cost average. So we like to use peso cost average for mutual funds, especially for those that that earn a regular fee. So the way we do it is if you have a salary, take out a portion and use a small portion to regularly invest in mutual funds so that if the fund's price, the net asset value per share goes down, okay, you can average down the cost. And if the net asset value per share is increasing, you can also ride the wave of that particular rally. So peso cost average is best used actually for mutual funds and the country's first and only exchange traded fund, the First Metro Exchange Traded Fund.
Okay, and that is it for our Q&A. Thank you everyone for participating and sending in your questions. So if ever you have any additional questions in mind, just simply send them in through our email. That's events@firstmetrosec.com.ph, and Marco will still do his best to accommodate your questions. So that's a wrap, everyone. Thank you for squeezing us in your very busy Monday schedules. We truly appreciate that you were able to spend your time with me, Marco, and the rest of the First MetroSec team. We hope that through this discussion, we were able to help you take the next step towards achieving your goals, whatever they may be. And now, before we bid you goodbye, we'd like to invite you to our upcoming seminars and events for the month. Head over to our calendar of seminars posted on our website to see if there's a First MetroSec event near you. For our Davao friends, we will also be having our Guided Investor Fearless Trader Technical Analysis Workshop, or GIFT, this weekend, which will be led by another bestie of ours, that's Mr. Aaron Sai. Send us an inquiry by emailing us at registration@firstmetrosec.com.ph or by simply registering through our website. Hear from the First MetroSec team first. Stay up to date with the latest events in the market, First MetroSec exclusives, announcements, news, contests, and many more by simply following us on the major social media channels. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube with the handle @FirstMetroSec. This has been your host, Cara, with our speaker, Marco, wishing you a very happy Monday. We'll see you guys next week for the 32nd episode of BeSTies. And as always, with First Metro Securities, it's hashtag your future first.